I mean, look at, for example, the Alpo situation.
Yeah, but he was a scumbag. He was supposed to been got that. You know what I'm saying? That dude was a rat and a piece of shit. He was supposed to been got that. Years when he first came home. He riding around, motorcycle, dudes respecting him because he didn't tell on nobody from Harlem. What? But meanwhile, he glorified all, he made a video glorifying all the people he killed and where he killed them at. So he was supposed to been got that. That dude was a scumbag, a piece of shit that got all the dudes in D.C. looking at us like we scumbags. So I was happy when he got killed. I was jumping for joy. Yeah, they finally got that scumbag. You know?
Well, yeah. And what I was going to say is he was actually in witness protection in Maine, which he could have easily lived out the rest of his days without any level of static. But he decides to come back to Harlem, you know, after killing Rich Porter, after potentially killing other people in that area or beating people up and stabbing them and the such. And we don't really know what happened in that situation, but being in Harlem definitely contributed to his murder.
That's right.
That's just a given.
Yeah.
Do you still go back to Lower East Side and hang out and so forth, or not so much?
I live in the Lower East Side.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not hiding. Listen, I'm not hiding for nobody. I walk around, you know, everybody know I'm in the Lower East Side. If somebody really want to see me, I'm not hiding. I'm not creeping around corners, peeking around buildings. I walk around normally. I ride a motorcycle, you know. I got a electric bike. I be riding around. So I'm not like I'm in a car dipping down. I'm not hiding, you know. For what? Because when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? My thing is that if you're ready to bring your ass here, then you got to expect me to bring mine too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. Like I said, I don't want to go back to prison. I don't never want to kill another person. But if you come hunting for me, then expect me for hunting you. You know? That's the reality. You know?
Well, you mentioned the snitching thing throughout the interview, and you have a certain, you know, hatred towards snitches and rats.
And rapos and child molesters. Don't forget them.
Right. You know, you yourself never cooperated during all the time that you were in prison. I'm sure there is probably certain cases where you were around certain situations where they probably could have given you certain benefits by cooperating, which I assume you said no. But when you look at the big picture of what's happening in the prison system, most people cooperate. Right?
That's the reality.
Yeah.
You got dudes out here right now that told on people and living good. And you know, like I said, I used to keep a file cabinet. When I mean a file cabinet, I used to have files of dudes that was rats. They out here, some of them out here, walking around, living a life. You know? We outnumbered right now. You know what I'm saying? Rats today, they glorify. A dude could be a rat, but he getting money. All that go out the window. It doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, Tekashi was the first rapper that told on everybody, took the stand,
perfect example.
Pointed everyone out, giving out. I think he gave out something like 200 years or something, you know, thanks to his testimony, came out and had hit songs. Yeah. And had Nicki Minaj doing songs with him and the such. But my question is that, you know, you have the street code of not ratting, not cooperating and so forth. But the people that don't do that, when they get out, what's the reward? What's the prize? Because usually they get out, there's not a bag of money waiting for them. There's not a house saying, hey, thank you so much for holding us down and not dragging us into your case. Here's a mansion that you could now live in for the rest of your days. That don't happen. The dudes do 20, 30, 40 years, come out fucked up, broke, trying to figure out how to rebuild their lives. And the dudes that they protected oftentimes don't do anything for them.
Yeah. But see, in my case, I was blessed with good people. When I came home, Bobby Smurder looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? And I had people come to me and here's this for you. You know, I could never say how much I appreciate the love that I received by so many good people.
Well, look, man, Blue Boy, you've lived the majority of your life in prison under the harshest possible conditions. 10 years in solitary, always having to watch your back. You know, having to carry weapons 24/7. But through all that, you're actually, you know, unbroken. You came out completely sane. You know, there are a lot of dudes that, you know, which I'm sure you saw, who couldn't make it through that, who ended up, you know, having their mind snap and just going insane or hanging themselves in their cell or in solitary confinement, or, you know, just going into drugs and just overdosing or just becoming, you know, completely addicted to it. You come out completely lucid, intelligent, smart, well-spoken, and fully aware of everything you did and taking responsibility for everything you did. You know, there's no, you know, at no point in this interview do I feel like you're presenting yourself as a victim, how things were out of your control, how it was unfair that you were, you know, living in this family at the time and so forth. You did what you did and you did your time, and now you're allowed to tell your story about it. You know, so I appreciate you coming through, man, and, you know, use the experience, you know, and we don't glorify, you know, these types of stories either. Like, we try to present these stories because at the end of the day, hip hop has marketed Crips and Bloods like no other gangs in the history of the planet. You know what I mean? A local couple of gangs now have songs written about them. There's Crips and Bloods in Vietnam and Europe and Asia and, you know, and it's of all different races, Asian, Latino, white, black. There's white Crips. There's everything now, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And, you know, but the reality is that going down this road leads to a life like yours, ultimately. And I think that's what people really have to learn, that yes, it's glorified, and yeah, it's cool to wear your rags and have your homies around to you know, to do your dirt for you and so forth, but it all comes at a price, and I think you've really illustrated that price very well.
Yeah, definitely did. I'm still going through it. I'm still paying for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we all got to learn from our mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You can't learn something if you never been taught to learn it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to go through it to really understand it. You know? And I try to keep it real. No fronting about it, no acting about it. This is what it is. Raw. You know what I'm saying? And that's about it.
Of course, man. Of course. Well, Blue Boy, man, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your story. And, you know, just hoping the best for you to live out the rest of your days in peace, you know, which is something you didn't get to experience the most of your life. You know, no altercations, you know. And I always say this in my interviews, like my goal is to not have a physical altercation for the rest of my life. Yeah. That's what my goal is. I haven't always been successful in this goal, but that has been my goal for decades now. And you know, if that's what your goal is, and you know that there's a reason for you to be out here and not get caught up in the moment, not get caught up in the ego, not get caught up in your emotions, you could live a very cool, peaceful, fruitful life, help, you know, be around your kids, have a woman, you know, build a business, make money, go on vacations, eat at restaurants, and all the stuff you didn't get to experience all these years, man. You know, so I wish you all the best, and I appreciate you coming in.
And I appreciate you having me, and thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Take care.
You too.